Hey, my name is Brent Stainer. I'm the director and one of the writers for this movie.
Hi, I'm Julia Hawkins. I'm first assistant director and also another writer for this movie.
Hi, I'm Megan Williams and I'm the second assistant director.
I'm Kayla. I play Alice, Nurse Alice.
I am Christina, and I played Nurse Annette.
I'm Sarah Dos Santos, and I played Nurse Esther.
Hi, I'm Emma Weller, and I play Holly Emmett.
Hey guys, my name is Stephen Locke. I played Harry in the new movie Bridgehurst Asylum for the Sane.
Steve Munchak, and I played Dr. Hilgard.
Anthony, and I played Charles.
I'm Eric Yarnott, and I played Thomas.
I'm Grace Turk, and I played Adeline Hilgard.
Hi, I'm Lily Croto, I play Florence Myers. Thank you, Hi, I'm Julia Frisbold, and I play Meredith.
Hi, I am Elliot Montoya, and I'm writing the score for the film.
And I am Keith Curtis. I'm writing the opening theme and closing song. And I'm also supposedly the musical supervisor of this mad genius.
Guys, so you two go to your places, go.
Sure.
What are you doing?
Yes.
Okay.
You feel like you're
You stay, that is medicine. That's my medicine.
I told her not to. It's Red Hot and licorice candy.
Yeah, it is.
It's
the licorice candy is kind of gross, not gonna lie.
Yeah, I kind of hate
Okay,
licorice.
bye guys, we got work to do still.
Hi, Christopher.
Hi.
It is behind the scenes.
Yes, I have to do my own clapboard right now.
Ha 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 ha! You have to do work.
Pregnant lady's name is now Stephanie.
Stephanie.
Okay, listen please.
Who wants to go first?
That entire scene where we were clotting took like, what was it, half an hour to film?
Pretty sure it took a bit more, like more than a half an hour. We were there like for several hours.
We would be squatting down, ready to stand up, and Brent would go, no, all right, just repeat it again, don't need to hit the thing, and like, ah!
Behind the scenes. Hi.
Isn't that Holly?
It is Holly. Wow. What are you doing here?
All right, here we go.
Okay.
And action.
What will happen to the others at the asylum? They really don't belong there.
I feel like when we did Love It for Zoom, we learned a lot. I learned a lot doing that film, and it was an opportunity to kind of extend our knowledge and our experience into a new project that we knew better how we could do things. We also had a little bit different restrictions from the school for the making of this for COVID restrictions. So for instance, we could go on field trips. We could not have to wear a face mask outside. So there were some elements that were new that were kind of exciting to take advantage of. So we made full use of 4 days for field trips.
Is it just 4?
Just 4 days, but
Really?
I don't know how many scenes we've done in field trips. Probably
at least feels like 10.
At least
feels
10,
like it.
yeah.
Feels like it.
Did a lot.
So we've made good use of those for this film. Anyway, what about you guys?
I mean, okay, so for me, I think it boiled down to we had a better grip on everything if we did another film. I think that last year after Love It for Zoom, we sort of closed out. Brent and I sat down and we were like, okay, do we want to do this again? Because granted, last year, it took us nearly a year to make Love At First Zoom, nearly a year. So the fact that we decided to do this again, I said I wanted to do a film because it boiled down to him and I, both creatively and sort of logistically, just had more control over what could happen and what had the ability to go wrong. We had control over that.
I think what I've learned from this experience is the fun thing about creating a film is I feel like it's a lot more personal and it's a lot more creative in a lot of different ways. So being behind the scenes on this big project has been really exciting and enjoyable so far.
I think I'm pretty similar to Harry just because I am kind of a bit of a romantic. I like these big, showy ways of showing my affection for others, and I guess in one of the scenes, he shares his dislike for things that are unfair or unjust, and I am like him very much in that way where kind of justice and wanting things to be fair is definitely kind of one of my core values.
That is really, really not fair.
Fainting. Hard. It's difficult.
Okay.
But you did great.
I did okay.
It was good enough to make the film.
We get a good load up of snot here before we do that. Okay, you want some? You want some hand sandy? And we're gonna go left hand, right hand. Is that what we're gonna do?
Whatever you feels right.
Because we've got lemonades.
Wait, I gotta hold someone's hand?
No,
No,
just
no.
your parents.
Yeah.
Want
Just-
some hand sanitizer, Emma?
So I think what I'd like to see, Mary's right hand,
even a thing in
your
the
left hand,
Right?
I don't
and
know.
just grab it, and you guys look
My
at each
own
other sweetly, because
Let's
what's
hope so.
happening here, the camera work we were just doing, this is the last shot of the scene. As you guys are doing that, camera's slowly fading out the same way that we came in.
Okay.
The role that I really appreciated was the freedom that the directors gave me to emote to the maximum. I kind of let myself go and really tried to explore the emotional limits of the character. I think that was a lot of fun.
As many of you know who have seen the movie itself, Nurse Annette is a very villainous, vindictive, and quite literally insane person.
You will never be permitted here again.
And for those who know me in real life, at the very least, I'd like to think I'm a lot sweeter and nicer than that.
She is dangerous.
Same amount of crazy, but still nice.
Probably when I had to be up in like 2 harnesses because it was digging into my ribs. I felt sick because I just had an apple cider. That was rough. And I just got concussed like not even a week earlier.
I think when I was doing Love at First Zoom, I was thinking bubblegum pop high school experience. And in this one, I think we are exploring the darker corners of the human mind and spirit. And so I feel like the change of tone is the biggest difference. And I think what we wanted to do was to create something with more emotional depth, because the little bubblegum pop thing is fine for what it was. But I think we're diving a lot deeper into the human soul in this piece. Yep.
One of the first days of filming, we were just like sleeping the entire time. That was a good memory.
That was a great time.
We just like,
Should we talk about the time we all stand barefoot in the mud?
Oh, yeah. I had full footmarks of where I was standing. I think they're probably still there if we go check.
No, but you see, okay, at first I just liked being barefoot and having to walk around, but I kind of got into it.
It was mushy. It was nice. It was kind of like
I had water that squirted in between my toes, and as I was walking, it was uncomfortable.
It's slightly, comforting in a way. It's like
Yeah,
closing your
you're
feet.
free.
Yeah,
You're free.
You feel like connected to Mother
Like
Nature.
Sharon Tate.
I didn't enjoy it.
Hey, you stabbed me with a pen.
And I'm gonna keep doing it until you get this right. All right, here we go. 95, roll,
Rolling.
snap. Are you going up? Are you following up?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, hands on and action. Go. Push them up, push them up.
Come on! I think I'd forgotten how difficult it was to, I guess, make a movie from the ground up from the last time we did it. And just getting on that grind of writing everything, him and I, just writing everything, and then putting camera shots and getting the formatting right, because I had an issue with that. And
Yeah, I'm not gonna comment on that.
Yeah. But just building this from the ground up has been so difficult, but then once we sort of got it all working up, then it was just sort of like took off. We hit the ground running as soon as we got our cast in here. And then ever since then, it's just been a constant, grind, but it's been such a great grind because everyone's been willing to pour their hearts into this, which you can really see in our final product, which I'm so proud. I'm so proud of that.
My nose running?
You're good.
Okay.
If you would like a tissue.
Yeah, nose check.
My character is pretty much how I am in real life. Granted, I had to make, and I quote, my voice sounds sweeter. So that was great. Thanks, Brent. But I think for me, what I kind of struggled with, at least in the beginning, is stepping into the realm of acting. I've never done that before. I'm more school, academic, or sports focused. So that was new and interesting.
prior to this, Love at First Zoom, I was actually a member of the cast. I was one of the characters. I was a character named Sam in that film. And so what's very different about this one is I actually was not a member of the cast. I guess you might consider me part of the crew. I don't know exactly what you would call me. So I've been working based off of essentially a script and emails, because I haven't actually been able to attend any live shooting sessions, and I haven't been able to really see much footage, because, you know, part of a film is you're putting everything together, and it's such a big undertaking that you might not be able to see the film till right at the end. So I've been working in a lot of theoreticals, and it's an interesting challenge for me, because it means that I'm able to explore more of the, I guess you could say, the philosophical ideas behind the music I'm making.
Deep.
The second hardest part was when I had to go in and yell at Mr. Munchak.
She's more sane than either of us. And this isn't about her mental well-being, it's about her father.
I did not want to do that. You are way too nice to be yelled at for like any reason.
Yeah. Holding back Mr. Curtis too.
Oh yeah.
He's pretty strong. I didn't realize how strong, and it's weird just...
He was going for it.
I don't know, never restrained a teacher before.
It's sort of challenging to let yourself go, especially in front of students. Teachers are sort of expected to, you know, have a certain kind of reserve, because there's a natural barrier there that a teacher doesn't want to cross. They don't want to get too angry. They don't want to, especially because I'm you know, playing against students a lot of the time in these roles. So I found that kind of challenging, but it wasn't that challenging, because I think the students allowed that, and they understood what I was doing, and they recognized that the character wasn't me.
And with their health, to make them stronger, both mentally and physically. Snap. Action.
We're here to help women with their health, to make them stronger, both mentally and physically.
Good. And a couple of challenges that we've seen that have been more than I initially thought they would be. First of all, this is a period piece. So initially we did this, I set this in the year 1894, because that kind of fits our asylum, you know, the what we're looking for asylums. And that would have been great. That's a kind of a cool period for costumes and stuff, but we had to then change it, because interior scenes like in our ward set here, we still need to wear face covers because of COVID. What we did, and Julie and I had kind of planned this as a fallback position if necessary, that we could change the date of our film to 1919 to coincide with the Spanish influenza. So we did that, and so that's kind of the underlying reason why inside everyone's wearing a mask, is because of the Spanish influenza.
Mine was trying to fake cry. I could not get that. I always like try to like hide myself, because I'm like very shy. I don't really like putting myself out there, and I feel like that was like the hardest part of my role.
I love the scar. The scar's awesome.
I was gonna say these guys, because
Yeah, I enjoyed interacting. Like, I'm gonna be so sad when they leave. It's been like so nice.
Yeah, because we're seniors, we're getting out of here soon.
I like meeting new people.
I love you too.
Oh, like you too.
I will swear on the up and down. I think this is the quickest
We
I've
still
ever
have
seen.
to interact.
Yeah, this is the quickest I've ever seen a cast bond to each other. And this, I think it's due to the fact we have so much new blood, because none of you guys were in the last production we did.
You had to bond with us.
Yeah, so,
Oh, God.
and then you guys came here, and it was just, because we lost so many people from moving from last year to this year, and now all this new blood came in, it was just like, oh, new family!
Okay.
Aww, so sweet.
It's a trust, is what it is. It's an artist trust. And you know, the best artistic relationships do work that way. And it makes each of us better, I think.
Yeah, because we can be honest with each other when we actually, you know, need critique.
So learning many new things has been a really fun experience. I've never done anything like this. I don't participate in a lot of things, so to be in this big of a production and activity has been really exciting for me. I was gonna be honest, I was a little scared when we were doing auditions, because I didn't know a lot of the people that were gonna be auditioning, because so many old people had left and there were so many like new people who were coming. But it was really exciting to see them just form together and bond almost immediately when we started filming.
My favorite bit overall was it was very separated because we filmed the actual scenes indoors like a few months after we filmed the ones where we were squatting, but we were I love just correlating just doing overdone acting as what's going on in Thomas's head.
Oh yeah.
Coming in like gesturing too much. That was because that is exactly how Thomas sees this happening, I will have you know.
Yeah, no, I like tumble rolling. That was fun. I hit my head a few times, but yeah, that was.
Let's see. My favorite scene to film would have to be either when I was pregnant and I was in line with the other pregnant ladies. That was really funny and really fun to film. Or when I got pushed out of the window or thrown out of the laundry basket. Those have to be the best.
Also, at our particular school, we really did have to create our own sets. We had to, create an asylum, inside our little theater. And I think that was very, very challenging. I didn't build the sets, but it was challenging for the set builders to create that scene and that setting, that stage, to film all those parts. And we were able to use, some other parts around the school. That wasn't hard at all.
I think everyone knows what I'm gonna say. It was handling the gun.
I have experience with that, so it's interesting to see how does that transition to the film side, because obviously we're not going to use a real gun, real in the sense, but that was pretty interesting seeing how that turned out and how the same safety precautions you use with firearms still existed for the prop guns. And then, but I think the biggest, or at least best memory I had was the blood scene. That was very fun. We probably spent 15 minutes doing makeup, I would say. We did, I think it was my left eye with a bruise, like makeup doing the bruise. Then there's like this weird, it looked like jam, but it wasn't. It was bright red and we like matted it into my hair and it was all sticky and it was cool for me because I don't really have an issue with blood. I thought it was pretty cool, but some people had the issue, so it was kind of interesting. Me, the person who's covered in blood and having it reapplied with Brent probably every 1 or 2 shots, having to comfort other people who were getting squeamish because of it. I was literally like, it's okay, don't worry about it. And then seeing my dad's reaction afterwards when I got in the car was priceless. Absolutely priceless. He was like, blankets everywhere. He's like, don't touch anything. I literally went home and my mom's like, go take a shower. Yeah, it was pretty funny.
Back's kind of exposed a little bit. Steven, help.
Use the little flail thing in my hat.
Okay, now right now, are you doing okay, Steven?
Yep.
Okay, so this is position 2. Can you go down to position 1? Down to the ground?
Survive!
Don't let go.
Yeah, hang on to him.
It's okay, I'm just something.
Pull yourself together.
Okay, so guys, what I want to see is you got to be...
Sorry.
Guys, you've got to be hands-on. I want you to touch him like I was just showing you.
You're spotting him.
Yeah. Okay, so I want you guys are trying to help him get up into there.
Yep.
Okay, so this is 95.
Yep.
Let's get B.
Will there be audio for this?
No,
Okay.
but I do want B, excuse me.
Okay.
Let's...
Behind the scenes.
You're speaking.
I think Steven's a little nervous.
That's a legitimate question. What is that? Are you gonna be okay?
Yep.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm thinking of...
Oh my goodness.
Sorry.
Yeah, one of the other things I really enjoyed myself is the initial idea for this production was one I'd had for a while, Several years ago, I was in a musical, Sweeney Todd, and there's a scene in Sweeney Todd with the asylum girls, and which is a nice creepy scene, and that was part of the spark that was the idea for something like this. Plus, I had read a book called Women of the Asylum, which was a true story account of women and some of the challenges that they legitimately had in asylums that were certainly of no fault of their own. And so we very much touch on that issue with this story.
Postpartum depression, dropsy, laziness, epileptic fits, uterine derangement, feebleness of the intellect, brain fever, and many others.
But I really enjoy, developing an idea, and Julie was so good to work with, and developing an idea and then being able to present it with a cast, a totally original idea that is something that we came up with and characters that we developed. And I find that exceedingly rewarding. When from scratch we can build something like this, that's something that we can be proud of the rest of our lives.
Yeah. I'm proud of you guys.
Try it again.
Really?
Gotta be kidding me.
Right on time, too.
Hi, Brett.
And snap. And action. That was a good take. Good.
I think my favorite aspect was in my first draft being rejected by my partner, because I was kind of going for something simple, and when I got kind of the meh response, and it wasn't just from Elliot, but I think the director was kind of like, meh, your third section's kind of, and so I thought, okay, all right. So I think what was my favorite thing is when I discovered, I've got some better chords that I can put in there, and that when those chords land, I think it's going to land a little bit more emotional punch, because as my colleague here tells me, it's not about songs, it's about emotion.
And roll. Clap. And action. Reset.
Because I've performed in other aspects of my life, but not really this type of art or performing. So that's really cool to learn, or at least try to figure out.
I think time was a big thing. I was busy with a lot of stuff during this time, so balancing that on top of this was a lot.
And the orchard was awesome. I have to say, working with the horses, that was really, really fun. I liked going to different places or different settings instead of just on stage, just changing the background. Actually going to new places and telling a story there. That was definitely the best.
It was a lot of fun too, playing with the stethoscope. That was, had a couple of fun times.
Except, yeah, it wasn't fun trying to pronounce it.
If people were outside the window when you were playing with the stethoscope, that would have been another one of the scenes that we had to retake multiple times.
The drama required us to be confrontational, and for the students, of course, to also sometimes take the upper hand against the adults. And I found that was very, very interesting, the way we were able to pull that off. Our student performers had no qualms at all about challenging their superiors and really, sticking it to them.
Given kind of the setting of the film and the kind of music it needed to be, I was trying to think of something that was dark, mysterious, yet also exciting, and maybe not quite like a sad, super depressing film. So, because you have to make it not just a bawling fest. I realized that metal composition put to classical instrument sounds is horrifying.
I also went into the horror bag, and I started looking at stuff that came from The Exorcist, which is one of the most terrifying movies of all time. And I liked a repetitive kind of, jumping around kind of piano theme that was obsessive and mysterious and dark. So we definitely went into that direction, but I too went for the horror.
Yeah.
First, just kind of gouge it out. I want to gouge out, and I want you to do this to yourselves. I want it in your hair. I want it on your face. I want it on your masks.
This is just like the Apple thing all over again.
I also would say another thing that this has just been so much fun for me is, this is the first time I've ever been sort of hands-on as directing, because last year, it was kind of limited with what I could do because, we were on Zoom, or when we were in person, it was just a bunch of moving elements and I couldn't really be like, hey, I want to see this. And this time, I think this is just me sort of getting more comfortable or something, or it's just me sort of finding my voice. I've been so vocal in my opinions, and I'm usually not really like that when it comes to working with an adult. But this time I'm kind of like, I want to do this. Can we do this? And you've given me the opportunity to sort of be like, the scene is yours. Go direct it. Go. And I did that, and that's been so much fun too. But just the whole directing aspect of it, and I was blocking around today because we were rehearsing, and I had so much fun doing that. Oh my God, it was so much fun. And this whole directing thing has just been really, really fun for me.
Well, in fact, just today, so we were filming some of the scenes that take place in Hilgard's office, and we were doing that while a rehearsal was taking place on the ward set. So it was very much like a typical film. We had 2 units, and so Megan and I took a couple of the actors and we filmed the scene while Julia stayed here with the bulk of the rest of the actors and rehearsed the scene, and it went like it was supposed to. It worked out great.
Accepted. Here, I'm
Wait a
ahead.
minute.
Go against the wall. Then you focus towards Holly. If she takes it, she follows David with it as she goes to Holly at the same time getting everyone else.
Yeah, and then she could say, no, not you! You go over there.
Yeah.
And then make him do that.
I like that.
And the thing I appreciate was realize the difference between doing a stage play and doing a filming, in the sense that it's a bunch of disconnected lines in a row that you have to say to get the same camera shot and camera angle, and then as opposed to being in a play where you get the feedback immediately, you have to kind of in your mind keep in track of what the response would have been to what I said 5 minutes ago, but it's being filmed now. And so again, I really appreciate what they have to do to make TV shows and movies now.
Well, the one that comes to mind is the crow that really didn't like Mr. Curtis.
Say hi to your dad for me. Tell him I'll have his Yankee driver back to him tomorrow. Say hi to your dad for me. Tell him I'll have his Yankee driver back to him tomorrow. That crow!
That crow's awesome.
Hates my line.
All right, here we go. And again, and you got something to say up there? And action.
Say hi to your dad for me. Tell him.
So let's say you have one theme. One theme might need 5 different versions for the film, depending on how intrinsic the character is. Like for example, your character, I have a theme that uses a trumpet. I have a theme that uses a guitar. I have a theme that's more piano-based. And then I was bored, so I made one that was funk, that you might hear at some point.
Yeah.
So that worked out really well. Also, I would be remiss if I didn't publicly thank some of the adults in our film.
Yes,
So
absolutely.
Steve Munchak, Keith Curtis, and Carrie Wright are on faculty at Archbishop Murphy, and they have been outstanding. So not only are they excellent actors, but they bring about a certain legitimacy of the film, and they have been such problem solvers. And those that know me know that that's the best compliment I can give somebody, that they're a problem solver. And they've been wonderful to work with and really help make a lot of this happen. So this truly could not have happened without their assistance.
Hi, I'm Josh Emmel. I'm the editor for Bridgehurst, and I just wanted to talk about some of the visual effects that we did during the editing process. Even though the film's set in 1919, there's still some things that we had to correct for because it's 2020 and or 2022 now. Wow, and we one of them is for our the Emerson household. It was a set called the Van Valey House in Everett. So they had a V on the chimney. Because our family is the Emersons, I just kind of made some bricks into the shape of an E and overlaid it over the V. So it looks like an E. So now it's the Emerson household. And then when we had Harry fly out the window, we of course wouldn't do that with just like throwing him out. We had a harness on and a couple ropes on. So I had to manually go through frame by frame and get rid of that rope with a picture of the wall he was on. And it wasn't like overly difficult to do, but it was definitely a little bit of work.
For like the end scene where I had to like run up and hug Brian, that was probably one of my favorite parts because it was like on the open and I'm like running. That was fun.
That was so cute too.
Next to me, please. Okay, this is not my phone. This is Julia's phone.
The climax was my most memorable scene. I keep seeing that over and over again. The confrontation with Chrissy's nurse in the asylum, with all the other characters around. The climactic scene was pretty intense. Getting a gun pointed at me. It's not something I really experience normally in regular life. So I think that was the most memorable. I also do remember a lot of the scenes that we shot at the Van Valey house. That was a really extraordinary experience. And of course, it was a long day of shooting. And it was cold that day. I remember it was very cold. But it was such a great historic house, and I really enjoyed those scenes and really just kind of living inside the character pretty much the whole day. So I thought that was pretty interesting.
Say goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye. Goodbye, everybody. Thanks for watching.
I'm so proud of you guys. I'm really proud of you guys. Like this production was, we asked you guys to work really hard and really quickly, and you guys stepped up, and you guys did really good. And I'm gonna be really sad. I'm gonna cry. I'm really sad when I leave you guys. I really don't wanna. I love you guys. Oh no. The tears. I'm having an emotional day, guys.
Julia's there.
I'm here, sir. I love you too. Bye.
No watermelons were harmed in the making of this film.